I trusted my husband completely. We had what everyone called the perfect marriage. 7 years together, a beautiful home in the suburbs, 2 dogs, and plans for our first baby. His name was Michael, and he was everything I ever wanted. Attentive, successful, always home for dinner, until the day he wasn't. It started on a Tuesday morning in March. Michael kissed me goodbye like he always did, told me he loved me, grabbed his briefcase, and walked out the door to his car. That was the last time I saw him. When he didn't come home that night, I wasn't immediately worried. He traveled for work sometimes, though he usually told me. I texted him. No response. I called. Straight to voicemail. By midnight, my concern turned into panic. I called his office the next morning. His assistant, Jennifer, sounded confused. She said Michael had called in sick 2 days ago and hadn't been to the office since Monday. My blood ran cold. He had left for work yesterday morning. I had watched him get dressed in his suit, watched him tie his tie in the mirror. Where had he gone? I filed a missing person report. The police were sympathetic, but not particularly helpful at first. Adults have the right to disappear, they told me. Unless there were signs of foul play, there wasn't much they could do immediately. But they took his information, his photo, promised to look into it. I posted on social media, called his friends, his brother in Seattle, his mother in Florida. No one had heard from him. Days turned into a week. I barely slept. I kept expecting him to walk through the door with some explanation, maybe a surprise trip gone wrong, a phone that died, anything. I walked through our house like a ghost, looking for clues I might have missed. His clothes were still in the closet. His laptop was gone. He always took it to work. His passport was still in the drawer. Wherever he went, he hadn't planned to leave the country. Then, I got the call from Detective Morrison. They had found Michael's car abandoned in the parking lot near the airport, 40 miles away. My heart soared for a moment. Maybe he was still alive. Maybe he had traveled somewhere. But then the detective's next words crushed me. The car had been there for 8 days. There was no sign of Michael at any airline, no credit card usage, no ATM withdrawals. It was like he had vanished into thin air. I started going through everything. Bank statements, emails I could access, phone records the police obtained. Nothing seemed out of place at first. Our joint account showed normal transactions. Then I noticed something strange. Small transfers. $200 here, $300 there, going back almost 6 months. They went to an account I didn't recognize. When I showed the detective, he started digging deeper. That's when my world truly fell apart. The account belonged to a woman named Sarah Mitchell. She lived in a town 2 hours away, a place Michael had never mentioned visiting. Detective Morrison went to talk to her. When he came back, he sat me down in my living room and told me something I couldn't process. Sarah Mitchell thought she was married to my husband. I actually laughed at first. It was so absurd, so impossible. But the detective wasn't joking. He showed me pictures, wedding photos. Michael in a different suit, standing next to a blonde woman I'd never seen, smiling that same smile he'd given me at our wedding. The date stamp showed it was from 3 years ago. 3 years. We had been married for 7. Sarah had reported Michael missing too. She knew him as David Mitchell. He worked in sales, she said, traveled constantly for work. He'd leave for days at a time, come back with gifts and stories, just like he did with me. But to her, he was David. To me, he was Michael. We were both living half a life with the same man, and neither of us knew the other existed. My hands were shaking so badly, the detective had to steady me. How was this possible? How could someone live two completely separate lives? We met with Sarah 2 days later in a neutral location with the police present. Seeing her was surreal. She looked as devastated as I felt, her eyes red and swollen. We were both victims of the same man, the same lie. We compared our lives. The patterns were identical, but offset. When he told me he was traveling for work, he was with her. When he told her he was traveling, he was with me. He had 2 phones, 2 email accounts, 2 lives meticulously balanced. The money transfers I found were him moving funds between accounts to maintain both households. He told Sarah his family was dead. He told me his mother lived in Florida, which was true, but he said he wasn't close to her. Each lie was carefully constructed to prevent overlap. But that wasn't even the worst of it. As we kept digging, Sarah mentioned that David, Michael, had taken out a life insurance policy 6 months ago. A big one. $2 million. She was the beneficiary. That detail made Detective Morrison's expression change. He asked me if Michael had taken out any policies on me. I checked. He had. Same amount, same time frame. Both policies had a double indemnity clause, so if death was accidental, the payout doubled. The investigation shifted. This wasn't just a missing person case anymore. The FBI got involved because the life insurance fraud crossed state lines. They discovered that Michael, his real name was actually Marcus Hartley. He had done this before in another state 12 years ago. He had married 2 women, lived double lives, then disappeared after staging his death in a boating accident. He collected on 1 life insurance policy before the insurance company caught on. He served 3 years in prison and got out 8 years ago. Everything I thought I knew shattered. Our wedding photos, our anniversary trips, the way he held me at night, all of it was calculated. He was setting up to do it again, but bigger this time. 2 wives, 2 insurance policies. The theory was that he planned to kill one of us, make it look accidental, collect the insurance, then disappear and eventually do the same with the other. $4 million total, if he succeeded with both. But something went wrong. The FBI found his laptop in a storage unit he'd rented under another false name. His search history was chilling. He'd been researching untraceable poisons, staging accidents, how to disappear permanently. There were files with our routines, our schedules, our habits. He had been watching us, studying us, planning. But there were also searches about international flights to countries without extradition treaties. Something had spooked him, made him run before executing his plan. They found him 6 weeks after he disappeared. He was in Mexico, using another fake identity, working at a resort under the table. When Mexican authorities arrested him, he didn't resist. He was extradited back to the States. I had to see him at the trial. I needed to look him in the eyes and understand how someone could do this. He looked different, thinner, older, defeated. When our eyes met across the courtroom, he looked away immediately. During the proceedings, I learned even more horrifying details. He had a 3rd woman he was seeing casually in another city, testing whether he could juggle 3 lives. He had been planning this for over a year. The prosecutor laid it all out. The fake identities, the forged documents, the insurance fraud scheme, the attempted murder conspiracy. Sarah and I sat together through the entire trial. We had become unlikely friends, bonded by shared trauma and betrayal. We both testified. I told the jury about the 7 years of lies, about the future I thought we were building. Sarah talked about her 3 years with him, about the child she had been planning to have with the man that didn't exist. Marcus Hartley was convicted on multiple counts: bigamy, insurance fraud, identity theft, conspiracy to commit murder. The judge gave him 25 years without parole. As they led him away, he finally looked at me one more time. I expected to see remorse, regret, something human, but his eyes were empty, cold. He felt nothing. The aftermath was almost as hard as the crisis itself. I had to legally dissolve a marriage that never was real because he was already married under his real name to someone else from before prison. I had to explain to everyone in my life that my entire relationship was a fraud. I went to therapy 3 times a week. I couldn't sleep without medication. Every memory I had was poisoned by the truth. Sarah and I helped each other through it. We met for coffee weekly, shared our healing process,